What's going on, my entrepreneurs? It's been a long day, but it's been a good one. So, we're going to take a minute. We're going to talk about dealing with difficult landscaping customers. So, you get a phone call, and it's a referral, or however you get your leads. You talk to the customer, your potential client. Hey, Mrs. Johnson, how are you doing today? Oh, good, Steph. Hey, I was wondering if you could come and take a look at our landscape. We want to completely redo the front yard. Yeah, that sounds great. Are you available now? Always be available now. Even if you're not available to go in person now, be available to talk with them now. Because people are impulsive. They'll just Google the next landscaping company and then they'll just go down the line until they get somebody who responds and comes out and gives them a price. So you go and look at this house, and it's sort of impressive. Big house, big front yard, nice cars parked in the driveway. And you walk up, you introduce yourself, and then you start talking with your customer about what they want to do. Halfway through the meeting, you realize this individual is exceptionally particular with their detail orientation. Not a red flag, but all these other little things start picking up. They start talking about other contractors who didn't do a great job. They start talking about how they had to fire their last landscaper because he forgot a weed in the garden or whatever. So you start putting it together and you think, okay, I've got a potentially difficult customer on my hands. And they're not always apparent at first. Sometimes they come across as, just lovely people, normal people who are well off, who want to have a professional come and take care of their lawn and their garden. So you send them a price. Let's say they want to resod their front yard. They want to plant a couple hundred 1 gallon, 3 gallon. They want to plant a 200 gallon tree, etc., etc. So you send them a price for $30,000. And then when you call them back to discuss the estimate that you sent them, they are just kind of all over the place. They're like, oh, well, my other landscaper would only charge me $10,000, or I got a price from another guy, he can do it all for $8,000. And so you have to pause for a moment and you have to decide, okay, do I want to get this job by any means necessary? That's the first option. The second option is, should I sit and I try and justify my pricing, which is, it can be intimidating to do because these homeowners, they don't necessarily understand all the detail that goes into making sure that a landscaping job is done perfectly. They just think anybody with a truck and a trailer can show up, tear up the old sod, slap in some new grass, mess with the irrigation a little bit, bring in a 200 gallon live oak, and etc. It doesn't occur to them that you have been in the field for over 10 years and you know how to do everything. You own your own landscaping company now, but they don't realize, and they probably don't care, that you were the one on your hands and knees, pulling weeds, working a shovel for years prior to you starting your company. So this is how you deal with a situation like that. Mrs. Johnson, I understand that there are plenty of other contractors, landscapers, who will come out and do the work for much cheaper than we're offering. It would be less expensive to do it properly the first time than it would be to have a cheap truck and trailer landscaper come in and do a slapdick job that you have to hire a professional to come in and fix. Don't say slapdick, but articulate it differently. And there's some customers, they look like the golden goose, who will lay the golden goose egg, and you're thinking, wow, if I could just have this job, then I could pay for this bill, or I could buy this tool, or I could have whatever I want. It may be better for you to recognize the red flags and to walk away before even starting any type of performance or performing any line items that you have priced out. You may just have a customer who will be cracking the whip on you, and you may just be in a position where you're ready to pay to get out of the job and just be done. So use some of those tips that I gave you to avoid crazy customers who are insufferable and who are uncompromising and are going to take you and squeeze every last bit, every last effort out of you before you get that final payment. Until next time, entrepreneurs, this is the king of landscaping, and this is the little prince of landscaping, and we'll see you next time. Say bye-bye.